them. However, you can avoid eye contact for a wee bit of time till the time you get comfortable with the idea. Another way, especially in a public speaking forum, would be to have a few anchors in the audience. Let's say you have 20 people attending your talk and you have 2 of them who are friends. Make sure that you request them to be seated in 2 different halves of the audience, so that you'll be comfortable facing them, if not the others. So when you move your eye contact between those 2 friends, in the process you're also gazing at the others, because there is movement of eyes. So anchoring people deliberately to establish eye contact is one method that a lot of new public speakers tend to use. But of course, eventually we need to make a conscious effort to get over it and also acknowledge the response of others in the audience. That's with respect to eye contact. What else in the face speaks? The smile, okay. Sorry? Eyebrows, okay. A raise of the eyebrows obviously says that you're either skeptical or maybe you have a question. The way you hold your head, and what does it say? Okay. Definitely. Okay. Okay. Well, that of course it has a physiological reason to it which you may not be able to control so much. But yes, the tilt of the head, the nod, definitely says a lot. Even the lips. Yes. A grin is very different from sneering at someone, which could be a one-sided lip, one-sided movement. So yes, there is a lot in the face that talks, and we need to be certainly aware of it when we are speaking to an audience. Definitely. All those emotions come in simply because your the emotional connect and the brain connect, the logic connect, is expressed through the face. Right? So definitely the movement of the head says a lot. What if I was tilting one side and talking to a person for a long time? What could this mean? If I'm having a conversation with you for about 5 minutes and my head is tilted to one side, what do you think it could be interpreted as? I'm sorry? I've got a crink in the neck, okay? That could be absolutely physical. It shows interest. Okay. And would it matter if it's tilted to the left or to the right? Yes, definitely the environment around matters. But in general, do you think the left and the right sides of the body have a different connotation? Right would be? Okay, and why would you say that? Any particular feeling that leads to that interpretation? Okay. Right foot forward, okay, that's... Different. Of course, that is combined with the facial features. What we're talking about is the left and the right. This goes back to the 2 halves of the brain. Right? The left half controls logic, right? Everything that's analytical, whereas the right half of the brain controls emotion, creativity, intuition. And as we all know, the wiring of the brain is opposite, which means the left brain controls the right half of the body, right brain controls the left half of the body. Which means usually when there is a left tilt and you're talking to a person for a long time, it normally indicates that you find the conversation interesting, stimulating in terms of being creative, in terms of garnering new ideas, So especially if you're at an interview or you're selling an idea to a client and you see the head going left unconsciously, you know the person's buying your idea. Push ahead your sale. That's a good point. Right? So at the same time, if it's going right, because the left brain seems to be functioning, the person's analyzing, evaluating. If that is the point of the conversation, it's time to give more facts. Not push the sale because the person has not yet made up the mind. There is analysis going on at that point in time. So be aware of the subtle shifts that happen as far as the left brain and right brain working is concerned. The same thing applies for eye contact. If you're interviewing a candidate and after being asked a question, the person pauses for a few seconds and looks, what could that mean? Looks left upward. Okay. Looks right upward. So if you've asked a person to describe, let's say, some part of his or her work experience, if he or she is only recollecting what happened in the past and trying to structure his or her answer, the gaze tends to go left because there is logic. However, you would know the person's cooking up a story if it goes right and upward, because there is some sort of creation happening. It's possible that the person is simply putting across points in a creative way, but it's also possible, if there is too much of that upward right-hand side gaze, that the person is not really speaking the truth. So those are signals that we can use as far as the facial expressions and eye contact is concerned in the interpretation of body language, especially in one-on-one conversations or interviews. Body language very often is restricted, or these small gestures are restricted to one-on-one conversations or smaller groups, simply because in a bigger environment, the body language is also interpreted or influenced by a lot of other factors, which means if you're trying to evaluate a candidate in a setting where there are 8 or 10 panelists, you may not want to give too much of focus on how every aspect of the candidate's body behaves, because there are a lot of other factors which are there in the environment which may influence the person. However, in a one-on-one conversation, certainly these factors matter a lot. Moving down to the torso, especially the hands. What could this gesture mean, and why is it interpreted as being closed? Okay, normally the hands are open, and that's why this is interpreted as closed. Okay. Defensive. Okay. Low confidence. Okay, not open to ideas in that sense. Maybe, and therefore you're trying to shield yourself. The interpretation comes from the fact that if we know of the chakric system of the body, are most of us aware of it? The energy centers of the body tend to revolve around the body, and usually if we have an open conversation, the chakric system, especially the heart chakra, tends to reach out to the other person, and there is mingling of energies that happen. When you do this, you're blocking it. The solar plexus is a seat of what is called the inner child, psychologically the most sensitive part of you. And when you block your solar plexus with your arms, it means you're trying to protect your inner child, and that's why it's called a closed gesture. Maybe because you're not open to ideas, maybe you think whatever the person is saying to you is not something that's acceptable, or may hurt you in whatever form, hurt you either in terms of ego or physically or mentally. It's also possible that you are at this point in time simply not willing to accept new ideas for reasons of your own, where naturally you want to protect the inner child, and that's where the hand goes. Okay. So yes, that's one interpretation of the closed gesture. Yes?
I've seen the pictures of Swami Vivekananda in this gesture.
Right.
Does it mean it is closed?
It depends on whether he was asked to pose this way. You look at a lot of politicians, they have